Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to week 2's vlog of the Owl's Magical Readathon, April 2020. Today is Thursday, day 9, and I decided I'm gonna up my goal. So if you watched last week's vlog, towards the end I was saying that last week went really great and I was making good progress. So of course, I needed to push myself a little bit more. So I decided that on top of being a potioneer, I am going to get some animagus training because I'm the only human in my household. I am the only living creature in this house that doesn't have a tail. That's a bit of a bummer. So might as well try to become an animagus, and so I can blend in more with my pets and we can all be animals together. For the owls, I have to do arithmancy, potions, and transfiguration. Now arithmancy and potions I'm already doing as part of my potioneer, but I'm gonna do 3 extra books instead of the 1 extra book because that makes the most sense. Also, I keep starting to lose my voice, so if I'm getting scratchy, I'm sorry, I'm doing my best. So for arithmancy, it's magical qualities of number 2, balance and opposites. Read something outside of your favorite genre. My favorite genre is fantasy, so I am reading Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. It's a classic, it's not fantasy at all. I thought that'd be fine. For potions, it is Shrinking Solution, and that's a book under 150 pages. For that one, I'm going with an Albert Einstein biography that I have. It is 128 pages. This is written by Frida Wyszynski, but I think Einstein's a cool dude. I have this book and I haven't read it yet, so might as well read it now. And finally, Transfiguration, Animagus Lecture, a book or series that includes shapeshifting. This one was so friggin' hard. I looked at all of my owned but unread physical books and I couldn't find anything that I knew had shapeshifting in it. I looked and I couldn't find one for the life of me, so then I went on the giant sheet of recommendations and I kept scrolling through until I could find something that I owned. And then I saw somebody mention Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I have no idea what the shapeshifting in this is. In the thing it said something about butterflies, and then later on somebody else recommended this book for that prompt. So I have no idea, but I own this book. I've been meaning to read it for a while, so I'm gonna do my best, and if it doesn't have real shapeshifting, then I'm sorry, I didn't know. So I am adding 3 more books to the 5 I already had. I think that 8 books is achievable for this month. Then I realized I may live to regret this, because for the newts in August, there's 3 levels. There's acceptable, exceeds expectations, and outstanding. And for an exceeds expectations, you have to read the acceptable and the exceeds expectations, and then for outstanding, you have to read all 3. So I just decided to look into it for fun, and that means that I have to read 13 books for my newts. We'll see. Maybe I'm biting off more than I can chew, but I like a challenge. I find it fun, so we'll just have to see how it goes. But for now, this is the owls. We'll worry about the newts later. So I'm going to start reading for a little bit. I think I'm going to read a little bit more of Farmer Jill of Ham. I want to try to read 6 of Crows last because I also own Crooked Kingdom, and I'd like to read that one after this one. So if I read that last, and it's towards the end of the month, then I have time to read that one, or it could be something I read the starting of next month. But if I read it now, I'm going to have to read a couple other books because I don't want to read this one and then a book that's not on my TBR and then a couple more, if that makes sense. So I think for now, let's get this one out of the way and I'll check in once I do that. Hello again. Today is Friday, April 10th. I didn't end up checking in yesterday because I was reading and enjoying everything, and like 2 pages away from the ending of the first story here, my brother ended up texting me, and then we were chatting for a bit, and then he called me and we talked for like 3 hours, and then I just forgot what I was doing. So I ended up before bed last night finishing up the last of the story, and then I realized that the last couple stories here are all just short poems, so I figured I'd read them all before bed. So I did finish this book. I think I'm gonna give it like a 7.5 or 8 out of 10. I did really like it, but I don't know why I really liked it, and I think that it's just because of all the nostalgia and all the love that I have for J.R.R. Tolkien. The first story is just a very typical, like, classic style guy ends up somehow getting roped into being known as a hero even though he didn't really do anything, and it's all a misunderstanding, and now he has to go fight a dragon and everything ends up being kind of working out for him, but everything kind of also goes wrong. And yeah, I just enjoyed it. And then The Adventures of Tom Bombadil is 16 different short poems, and I really liked that they were all in very different styles and different like rhyming patterns and different, I don't know, they were just all very different. And in the like prologue or preface, it was saying that supposedly the poems were written by different people. Like it was saying, you know, poems number 1 and 7 are written by Bilbo, and Sam ends up writing poems number 12, 15, and 16, like things like that. So I just thought that was really cool, and yeah, it was exactly what I kind of expected it to be. I'm pretty happy with it, so either 7.5 or 8 out of 10. I haven't decided yet, but I'll let you know once I decide. My reading plans for today. I think I'm going to start Jane Eyre because I was able to get it on audiobook, and I'm really in the mood to go downstairs and work on my puzzle. So I think that I'm going to get the audiobook and just listen to it for a couple hours while I work on the puzzle. I'll let you know how it goes. Look at this. I got so much puzzle done. I got a big chunk of sky done. I got a decent chunk of the buildings done. Ignore the fact that I have very little water done, but it's progress, okay? This is a 5,000 piece puzzle that my brother got me, and it's gonna take forever, but I think that I'm making pretty good progress. Hello again. Today is Saturday, April 11th. I didn't end up actually updating at the end of my reading yesterday, but I got so much listening in on that audiobook. I kind of got distracted with the puzzle and lost all sense of time, and then I just completely forgot that I did actually update you guys. So I did listen to quite a bit of Jane Eyre. I really enjoyed that, and then this morning I woke up and I was going to listen to more of that audiobook because I was just still in an audiobook mode. There was some other things I wanted to do, Animal Crossing, but I actually got a notification from my library that the audiobook for Room became available. So if you don't remember, I was about halfway through, and then it was just a little bit overwhelming for me, just how heavy the isolation aspects were just kind of getting to me, and I was having a little bit of trouble reading it because it's written a very childlike way, which definitely adds something to the story, but it doesn't make it easy to read. And it was just emotionally difficult to read, and it's about an abduction, and it was just a lot. And I thought that an audiobook would be just a much easier way to read it. So the audiobook is now downloaded from the app, and I think that I'm going to listen to that for a little bit. If I remember right, the audiobook is like 9 or 10 hours, and I'm almost exactly halfway through. So probably within the next 5 hours. And now that I think of it, is it 9 or 10 hours? Or is it 9 or 10 hours on double speed? So I either have 5 hours of audiobook or 2.5 hours of audiobook because I listen on double speed. Who knows? I'll find out and I'll let you know. My goal is to finish that book today, though. I think that would be super exciting. So that's my game plan, and I will check in once I'm done. Hello, it is a couple hours later. I finished The Room. I had to think a little bit harder on this rating because while I did really enjoy the story, I didn't like the writing of it. The audiobook was definitely easier to absorb. The writing style definitely kind of worked a little bit more in an audiobook format because the narrator was supposed to sound like a very young boy. I don't think it was actually a 5-year-old boy narrating it. It was probably like a girl, so like the voice, you know how voice actors do? Anyways, so it definitely didn't sound as jarring, I guess, because it sounded like a child speaking how a child would speak, so you could almost ignore it, if that makes sense. So I think that between the two, the audiobook was definitely the way to go. But I still don't think that it quite worked for me. I think that it was just a little bit too awkward. And I don't really know what the solution is because I feel like if it would have been narrated from like the mother's point of view, it would have been a completely different story. But if it would have been completely third person, I think it would have felt too detached. So I think that for this story specifically, first person worked, and having it written like it was the child makes the most sense. I just didn't like it, but I liked the story. So I don't know. I think that it was a good choice. I definitely don't think that there would have been an alternative that I would have preferred. I did really enjoy this story though. I really loved how emotional it was. I really loved seeing everything from the little boy's point of view. I think that there was just so much that having the little boy narrate it, but being an adult and able to see between the lines that he doesn't even realize is just really, I don't know, there's just something extra emotional about it. Like when he's describing old Nick, who's the captor, he describes it as just this weird stranger that happens to come into his world every now and then. But because you know what he's actually doing, and just some of the things that he says and some of the things that he does that this kid is looking at with such innocence, but knowing the maliciousness behind it all is just really difficult. I also really liked the mother as a character because seeing her through her little boy's eyes, I just love that perspective. First of all, seeing the parent through the eyes of the child, and just in everything that she did, she was just so completely consumed with her little boy and keeping her son safe. Hi, Ripley. And seeing her severe PTSD and seeing it from the eyes of a little boy who doesn't understand. Like he was saying that she has a lot of days where she's just gone, and he just knows that, okay, on those days, Mom doesn't wake up, she stays in bed all day, and I have to fend for myself. And for him, it's just like, oh, that's just a weird thing that she does every now and then. She just, you know, is asleep all day and doesn't want to talk and is like crying and stuff. And no, that's just severe PTSD and depression. She just doesn't have the energy to get out of bed. But seeing it from his point of view, and there's something that she does later on in the book, and just everything that she does, the way that she thinks, the way that she sees things, it's a very interesting depiction of PTSD, I think, because you're seeing it through the eyes of a child, and it's just really fascinating. So I definitely enjoyed the story. I just didn't connect with the writing, and I think that that's just a me problem because, like I said, I don't think there's an alternative that would have worked better for this story. I think that this was the best choice. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this book. Just be very wary of the triggers. So obviously abduction, sexual assault, heavy isolation, mentions of, it's kind of a bit of a spoiler. I'm just going to say complications with pregnancy and leave it at that. If you want to know more, obviously you can DM me and I can go into details if there's anything that you want to know or any spoilery details that you think you need to know before going into this book. But I'm going to leave it like that just for people that don't want spoilers. Hi, Comet. Look at all these cats coming to join me. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed this. I don't know the rating yet. I think I'm done reading for today. It's a little bit later in the day than it usually is because I had a lot of writing to do today. So that is another book down, and I'm feeling really confident with the rest of the readathon. So that's all for today, and I will check in tomorrow. Hello again. Today is Sunday, April of the 12th. I hate the word 12th. It's my least favorite word in all of the English language. Actually, puce. Like that purplish brown color. Ugh. But this is so irrelevant. But the word 12th, there's just so many harsh, unnecessary words. 12th. 12th. So, April the 12th. Anyways, I'm wearing the same pajama sweater, but I didn't wear it to sleep last night, so I'm just wearing it for a second day. It's fine. It is 3:54 a.m. and I'm getting ready to go to bed, but I'm going to read a tiny bit before bed. I'm not quite tired enough to sleep yet, but I'm going to sleep soonish. But I have my Albert Einstein book here. I'm really excited for this because I really like Einstein. I think he's a super cool dude, and I just want to read this book. Also, it has a lot of like cool pictures and like, I don't know, it's not written like a biography, it's written more like a long news article from the looks of it, and I think that's pretty cool. Hi Ripley, are you ready for bed? Almost. I'm going to read a little bit of this. I'm not going to check in afterwards because hopefully I will be sleeping. So I will just talk to you tomorrow. I'll let you know how this goes, and yeah, good night. Good morning. Today is Monday, April 13th. Like I said, I read a little bit of my Einstein biography last night. I read about 50 pages, I think. 48 pages, sorry. I am enjoying it. It's written almost a little bit more simply than I was hoping. Like, it's very surface level stuff, but for this format it kind of works, and overall I'm enjoying it. There's a couple things that I didn't know, which is always nice. So yeah, it's also a super fast read, so I think that I might actually be able to finish it now. So I'm just gonna do that, and I'll check in once I'm done reading. Hello again. I just finished reading this. It was really enjoyable. It almost read kind of like a really long news article or like magazine article, and kind of like a really simple textbook, like in the formatting and stuff. But I really enjoyed it. It touched, like I said, on a lot of surface level things. And the thing with Einstein is that he's such a renowned figure that everything you read is going to be a little bit biased, so a lot of the different biographies about him are very different. So I like reading them and just kind of seeing more and more glimpses into his life. Even though I don't know too much about physics, I only took physics until grade 10. I never took any extensive physics classes in grade 11 and 12. But I really love Einstein as a person, and I love his philosophies and the way his mind works and just his ideas on things. And I just think that's something that's really cool, because he's a scientist and that's what he should be known for. But even though I and many other people don't fully understand all of his scientific theories and everything that he did, he can still be looked up to and respected as a person because of everything else he did and how well-rounded he was. And I just think it's fascinating. Like, Einstein's just a really cool dude. I think I'm gonna give this like an 8.5 out of 10. It's very short, and I usually prefer my biographies to be a bit longer, a bit more in-depth, but for what it was very enjoyable. So yeah, all in all, I enjoyed that. I'm gonna go make lunch now and probably listen to more audiobook of Jane Eyre, but I will check in tomorrow and I'll let you know how that goes. So see you then. Hello again. Today is Tuesday, April 14th. Sorry, it's just really cold today for some reason. Probably because I turned off my furnace because it was really hot the other day, and then it got cold again. Canadian problems, right? Anyways, I ended up listening to quite a bit more of the audiobook for Jane Eyre last night and then again today. I'm going to listen to a little bit more. Tomorrow's garbage day, so today is going to be a lot of cleaning, doing the litter box, rabbit's cage, etc., etc. And that is just the perfect opportunity to listen to an audiobook. So I'm basically going to go do a bunch of chores, do a lot of things, and then I'll come back after I'm done, tell you how it went, and film the outro. So talk to you in a minute. And hello again. Alright, I am done reading for today, and I am done vlogging for the week. So very quickly, I did finish Jane Eyre today. I liked it, but I'm probably not going to reread it anytime soon. It was okay. I didn't like the last act, I guess. Basically everything that happens after Jane leaves Thornfield, I just didn't really care about, but that's okay. So I'm just going to quickly review the books that I finished, give you the final ratings, and then we're going to get into the best part of the video, me making my potion. First, I read Farmer Jill of Ham and the Adventures of Tom Bombadil. This is by J.R.R. Tolkien, and I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Then I read an Albert Einstein biography by Frida Wyszynski, and I gave this an 8.5 out of 10. Then I read Room by Emma Donoghue, and I ended up settling on 8 out of 10 for this one. And finally, I read Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, and I'm giving this one a 7 out of 10. So all in all, this was a really great reading week. I only have 2 books left for my owls. I have Renegades and Six of Crows, and I'm hoping to finish Crooked Kingdom too, but I'm not counting that as part of my owls, but I would just like to read it. Comment. So now I'm going to make my potion. I am feeling really confident though. I feel like I'm far ahead of my owls. I'm feeling really good. I know that last week's invisibility potion didn't really work all that great, but I'm feeling good about this one. So I have it right here, a color changing potion. Comment, this is a potion. Cats don't drink potions. This one I thought would be more obvious than turning invisible, because I think it would be too cool to randomly turn like blue or purple or something. So yeah, feeling pretty optimistic about it, so fingers crossed. Comment, wish me luck. Nothing. Not even my tongue changed color? Damn it! I'm sorry guys, I'm just really frustrated that that potion didn't do anything. I had really high hopes for it. I thought I was doing really well on my quest to become a potioneer, but apparently I'm not making any progress. Let's just close out this video. I'm just in a bad mood now. So if you enjoyed this video, click the like button, subscribe, blah blah blah. I post videos every Wednesday and Sunday. Right now they're vlogs, but who knows what I'll do because apparently I'm going to fail at being a potioneer, so we'll just see. So I hope to see you guys next time, and until then, have a great day. Bye.